I don't really need to say this, but Bohemian Rhapsody is a pretty brilliant film. This was, of course, released in 2018. It's directed by Bryan Singer, and it's written by Anthony McCartan with a cast including Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury, and this is a biopic detailing Freddie Mercury's life from the formation of Queen and up until 1970, up until their Live Aid performance in 1985. So it's a decent chunk of time we're dealing with, but not the entirety of Freddie Mercury's life. And I think that the focus there works really, really well. And I will say that I am not a big Queen fan, by which I mean I'm not really into music. I have a few artists that I like. I don't listen to a wide range of music, so I'm not the most knowledgeable about Queen. But in a way that worked in my favour, because I went in with no real expectations. And I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Before I go any further, it is of course worth mentioning that this won 4 Oscars. It won the Best Performance by an Actor for Rami Malek. It won Best Achievement in Film Editing, Best Achievement in Sound Editing, and Best Achievement in Sound Mixing, which, yep, absolutely. It was also nominated for Best Picture, but it didn't win that. But nevertheless, it's won a lot of awards, and I can understand why. But that's also worth saying that because I didn't have any expectations, I was able to enjoy it without looking for anything specific. You might feel differently if you're a big Queen or Freddie Mercury fan. It does have 7.9 out of 10 across 628,000 reviews and ratings. But interestingly, a Metascore of 49, which is quite low. So that's quite a difference. I will say that, for the most part, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I knew very little about the formation of Queen and what their journey was like, so I learned a lot. I took everything with a pinch of salt, so if there's anything that is incorrect or maybe exaggerated, then feel free to let me know. But in general, I learned a lot, and the only bits that I kind of didn't love were just little bits, I'd say early-ish on, kind of into the second third. It was just maybe not the most fascinating. I found it to be more interesting as time went on and the band became more well known, and I found that to be a lot more interesting. The characters are very well written, the performances are brilliant. I know a little bit about Freddie Mercury, and certainly I've seen a lot of clips of Freddie Mercury, so I can say the performance looks great from my perspective. But again, if you're a really big Freddie Mercury fan, you're going to have different expectations. So I'd love to know what you think of Malek's performance there. Do you think it was a great job with the character? In general, I was pretty impressed. The costumes look great. Visually, it's a really impressive film. It's really nice to look at. Great editing. Really great camera work. The costumes are great. Obviously, the music is brilliant. And as I said, the only issue I have is that maybe in the middle-ish, towards the middle, it wasn't the most engaging, but I am also willing to admit that that could be on me. If I was a much bigger Queen fan, I might have got more out of those scenes. So that could be a me issue rather than an issue with the pacing of the film. I'm certainly willing to admit that. There's a lot of emotion in this film. It feels like it was created by people who are very well informed, who are very passionate about this. That definitely comes across, and I can't really fault it. I had a feeling it would be good. I didn't expect that it was going to be one of those films that didn't live up to the hype. I had a feeling it was going to be quite strong, and I'm pleased to say it absolutely delivered. And again, if I was a big Queen fan, maybe I'd feel differently, but certainly I enjoyed it. I didn't mean for it to take this long. It's ridiculous that it's been seven years, maybe 7. I don't know when exactly. October 2018, so almost 7 years. And the only reason I took this long is because, first of all, back then I wasn't watching a great variety of films. Now I will watch almost everything and anything. And there was also a lot of hype about it. And sometimes I don't like watching films where there's a lot of hype because I don't want all of the opinions that I'm reading and hearing at the time to affect my judgment. So I wasn't in a rush to see it. But 7 years is unforgivable. It shouldn't have taken this long. If you're a fan of musicals, I think you'll like it. There's some really great music, some great performances. If you're a fan of Queen or of Freddie Mercury, then obviously you're going to enjoy that aspect, I believe. I haven't heard any Queen fans say that they didn't like it, but certainly that could be the case. And I'd love to know what you think of it. It's a solid biographical film from what I can tell. Again, I don't know if it's fully factually accurate, and I'd be willing to hear any thoughts on that. Really great performances, great music, visually stunning, great editing, great costumes. Again, it doesn't need to be said. but Bohemian Rhapsody is a very strong film. And I would say that I agree with that high rating on IMDb, which doesn't happen that often. The Metascore was quite a surprise. I also agree with the Oscar wins. So all things considered, while it is to my shame that it took me almost 7 years to watch Bohemian Rhapsody, I'm pleased to say that it was worth the wait. And if, like me, you've been wanting to watch it but you never got round to it, I'd say it's worth prioritising. Great film, really enjoyed it. I completely understand all of the praise, and needless to say, I thoroughly recommend it.